Hello again, most esteemed viewers. My name is Jekyllstein Grey, and welcome to another episode of Jekyllstein Grey Plays The House in Fata Morgana. Where we are continuing our tale as old as time. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. I don't have much else to say until we actually get into the game. I don't know. Yeah, I'm starting to think like this will probably be the rest of Halloween, of my Halloween content this year. Hey, maybe I'll start working on Halloween content for next year really early, or I might just go into November. Anyways, let us inspect our memory of the visitor. I still don't know what lock does. Is anyone in there? Could you part with some food? I don't need much. Bestia. I'm gonna go with Bestia. Not because I think it's accurate, but because it just sounds good. Sounds like besties. Some food and water. Just a little, that's all I need. Bestia looked over at me as if seeking my aid. Ironic, no? It was the visitor who was truly in need of aid. I pondered it for a few moments, deciding that I pondered it for a few moments, deciding that I could not simply turn away upon someone upon Jeez, okay. Alright, Jekyllstein, get in the game more. Okay. I pondered it for a few moments, deciding that I could not simply turn away someone calling upon the mansion. Had Bestia ordered me not to let him in, I would have followed his instructions, but he said nothing. Oh good, you let your own conscience and your own, sense of morality be trampled on because of this random guy you decided had power over you. In most cases, it's not like you decided they have power over you. It's that you were born and raised to be told that they had power over you. But in this case, she decided to give this guy power over her. Anyway, oh, thank God, someone's here. I was afraid it was deserted. You said you were in need of sustenance? Yes, doesn't have to be much. Anything to quench this thirst. I got lost and it's been several days. Give me a few minutes, I will find... Let him in. A firm, deep voice came from behind me. I was quite startled. When had the beast learned to act so much like a human? When did he learn to speak so clearly and to behave so much like a master? Oh, there it goes. It just slips off my tongue sometimes and it just gets caught in my throat other times. Upon seeing Bestia, a look of terror appeared to cross the wanderer's face for a moment. To my eyes, Bestia was the very image of a head of house. But to an outsider, he probably appeared to be nothing more than a beast in man's clothing. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what he is. Prepare him a meal and a bed. I suspect he is quite tired. Thank you very much. But in time, the fear drained from the man's face. Bestia sat precariously on the border between man and beast. Though he still had his doubts, the wanderer revised his first impression, deciding Bestia was human. As the wolf had fooled the little girl in the forest, he too had succeeded in playing the role of a man. Okay, that specific phrasing feels appropriately ominous. But why did you keep encouraging him to act like the wolf in that story, the maid? I thought it was a goner for a while there, but you really came to the rescue. And a meal like this on top of that, you really didn't have to. Though I guess it's not an appropriate thing to say as I'm eating. What kind of meat is this? Hare. It's damn tender for a rabbit. And here I thought it was beef. You have quite the skilled chef. Oh, is she the one who cooked this? Is she your wife? Oh no, I am merely a servant. Why would the wife be wearing a maid's outfit? I started that sentence and then I was like, I can think of several reasons. Do what thou wilt if that's what you're into and whatnot. A female servant, huh? Don't see that very often. That's an odd statement. Interesting. Oh, one thing I was thinking of, again, little tangent, sorry. Esteemed viewers, but one thing I realized earlier today, I was like, when I was thinking about the last video, I was like, oh, that super bloody war they were talking about might have been the 7 Years' War, not the 7 Years' War, the 30 Years' War, aka the war I've been super fascinated about and won't shut up about, because it's super interesting, and it was absolutely brutal. In some respects, like 8 million people died in that war. It's as much as in World War I. Granted, it was over a much longer period of time as in World War I, but also they didn't have the mass production of death that they had in World War One, and it was a much bigger percentage of Europe's population at the time. So I wondered if that was the case, and it might be. However, the one thing the one doubt I have about that is the 30 Years' War was from 1618 to 1648. So this story within the game takes place about 60 years after that, 59 years after that. So it's still long. Like, yeah, the Scars of War are going to be long for that, and there's still people who are going to remember it. But in this time period, like, this game describes it as ending very recently. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. Female servant, huh? I don't see that very often. This mansion is just full of surprises. I can hardly believe it. Lost for days, and as soon as I think I'm dead, there it is. Thinking back on it now, it's miraculous. But why are you two living alone in a house on a cliff? Oh, I beg your pardon. Asking so many questions without telling you about myself. My apologies, just a little too excited to finally see other people. I'm a merchant. I do international trade. Until a few years back, spice exports pretty much all came from one place. But now that we've established trade routes of our own, my country is fighting tooth and nail to push its exports. And in fact, some have lost a few teeth in the fight already. Well, that's just how it works. It's a cutthroat world. You do what you must to survive. It's just how it works, the merchant said, a sorrowful look on his face. He was quite clearly putting on a show, though. Confidence in himself and his homeland radiated from that man. So he's doing, like, false humility. Ugh. I came to this land to do business, but much to my chagrin, I somehow ended up lost in the forest. Had I wandered around for much longer, I'd have lost the chance to ever see my beloved again. Your beloved? Yes, sir. I'm constantly out on business, so we only get to see each other a few times a year. She always waits for my return. I'm starting to remember something about this, and it's, does not bode well. I'd like to introduce you to her if I ever get the chance. She's a pretty girl, if not especially striking. I mean, okay, sure, she could be a supermodel for all I care, but if she's not, if she doesn't have a big brain and or a big heart, it's just not, she would not be appealing to me. Anyway, that's so. The merchant was a man of many words, and I, for one, do not mind a lively supper table. Though I know not how Bestia felt, at the very least, I was glad we had invited the wanderer into the mansion. He was, after all, holding a proper conversation with someone, and he seemed to be having success concealing his piercing beast-like gaze. However, I stopped by the village before entering the forest, and I heard a bone-chilling tale there. As soon as the merchant brought up the subject, a palpable tension spread through the room. They say there have been sightings of a beast. The beast at Tanagra. The beast at Fata Morgana. Oh man, I need to go watch Darmok again. Anyway, it's a creature unlike anything anyone's seen before. Not a wolf or a bear or anything like that. It even attacked the village once, killing several people. Thankfully, the men managed to drive it out. But the creature is still alive. There's something in the world scarier than a vicious beast. So, you should keep an eye out. Wouldn't want to accidentally let a murderous beast into your home. Do you not, I get that you've decided that he's not a bad, like a beast in heart and mind or whatever, but, you don't think that this might be the thing, the creature, the being that they're talking about? Anyway. At the villager's insistence, I had the smithy forge me a knife. Is that knife? Huh? With you now? I should have done. Is that knife? Huh? With you now? Well, yeah, I've got it on me. Only good to defend myself with, but it's better than that knife. You brought that knife. You're gonna kill me with that knife! What? You're going to stab me again and again with that knife, like they did last time. That's why you're here, isn't it? What are you talking about? What's gotten into you? Stab and stab and stab! Calm down, what are you so worried about? I'm not gonna hurt you with this. What did you just say? Eek. I like to imagine that before the wolf ate the poor little girl, he said, "Is this what I always looked like?" That beast! What's your problem? What's wrong? Talk like a human. Is me. Stop, stay back. Get any closer and I'll stab you to death. You act like you only just realized I'm a beast. Eek. That's right, I'm a beast. I killed them. Stay back. And I'll do the same to you! Oh man, I need to, I don't know, I need to like have enough of an idea of the script where I can act it out confidently. Or I just need to get confidence in my acting, or I just need to try and stop acting it out. Help! In his hand, Bestia held his sword. The rest had been hidden under the table, or maybe behind his chair. Regardless, it was as though he had expected this to happen. The merchant kicked aside the door, attempting to flee, while Bestia closed the distance in an instant, knocking him back. I don't know where I got locked from. He lost his balance and slammed against the wall, but he still managed to escape, though the beast stood blocking his path. No, please, stop this! Don't kill me, my beloved is waiting for me back home! I can't leave her behind! And why should I care? Okay, this isn't the exact scene I remember, but it looks similar. Ah! A dreadful scream echoed through the dining room, reflexively covered my ears. Please help! Oh, someone, anyone! No one's going to come for you! This mansion's a long way from town. Oh, help! That woman, why isn't she here? She was just... Oh. You'll kill me if I don't kill you! And so I must show you that I will. I must show you that I'm serious! I must kill you or you won't understand! You just won't understand! If I don't show you firsthand, you won't understand! I'll make you understand. I'll make your flesh and bones understand. Kill! I'll kill you! I'll kill you! How much do you think, how big high of a chance do you think this video has of getting demonetized to Steam viewers? Kill you! Ah, monster. That's right, I am. A beast! So this is definitely not taking a U-turn. This is like kind of an opposite Beauty and the Beast story, you know, where the beast like starts human, ends up a beast, reverts back to human, and then it's like flip flopping. I'm assuming the beast was not always like this, considering his like, you know, weird, you know, like he kind of actually talks like, you know, Frankenstein's monster. Slash Lucifer Frankenstein or whatever, Adam Frankenstein, whatever you want to call him. He acts like the being that Victor Frankenstein creates, and I find that really interesting because it's not, how do I put this? It's you know, but like Frankenstein's monster is like even. Like, it takes a long time for him to fully, like, snap. And it seems like the vibe I get from the Beast is that he was pretty, you know, chill, but then people started attacking him, and then he was like, ah. Anyway. They had been enjoying a peaceful meal around the table together just minutes earlier. So what triggered this? If I were to guess, the merchant saying the word knife is what caused the Beast to snap. A simple, small thing set him off. I could not comprehend it. Bestia, who had said he wished for peace, was staring down at the ravaged corpse of the merchant with a look of ecstasy on his face. Can you understand how he felt, even just a little? I mean, I can, well, you know, people, everyone's, okay, there's one thing I've been thinking about and saying a lot recently, and that's everyone's a little bit of a hypocrite. There's always going to be a difference between, on some level, between the ideals you hold and the ideal and the things you, like most people, and actually, an example, it's, you know, this is a much more extreme example of the actual example I use, which is the, what was I going to say? Which is the, oh, what was I going to say? I can't remember now. Oh yeah, which is losing your temper. Train of thought got it ground. Losing your temper. You know, everyone thinks, I think or I shouldn't say everyone. I would think that most people would argue that losing your temper is not something you should do. And yet most people have lost their temper at some point in their life. You know, that doesn't necessarily make you a hypocrite. Or it might in a literal sense, but it's not how most people use the phrase hypocrite. And now, so she's supposed to be, well, we'll get into this later. I still want to, that being said, you know, there's obviously differences between, like there's different amounts of hypocrisy that you can fall under. you know, and so I'm trying to like, I feel like I was going somewhere with this and I don't remember. Oh yeah, so you know, like I overall, you know, really I prefer peace to violence, you know, but I also I have not killed anyone, thank heavens. But I also haven't, you know, I've also, you know, I've lost my temper before, and there are moments where, you know, like I get into this very dark headspace, and I, you know, want violence, you know, and again, I think most people on some level have different levels of that, you know. That doesn't make it okay, and that doesn't mean we shouldn't strive to be better, you know, but it is something I think is important to understand. Anyway, back to the game itself. Alright, that does it for today's shopping. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. Snack time! Something better than having a ham sandwich in the park. Oh dear, maybe I should lower my voice when I'm talking to myself. But it's so nice out, I just can't help myself. Does the weather have anything to do with talking to oneself? Not important. Food. I was actually talking with my friend recently. This is just a random thought. And he brought up we were talking about guide characters in games like Navi, Fi, whatever. And he mentioned that he was talking with someone who was like talking about how they didn't like how Aloy constantly talked to herself in Horizon Zero Dawn, and I was like, and he said his response was, but the alternative is to have Navi going, hey, listen, all the time. And I responded, when my friend told me that story, I told him, like, and also, in the context of Horizon Zero Dawn, you know, like, Aloy probably, like, grew up talking to herself, considering she had, like, 3 people in her life she could talk to, you know? I mean, I don't think I like, verbally talk to myself that much, but I certainly talk to myself in my head a lot, anyway. I don't want to burden you with my whole life story, anyway. If he were here, it would taste even better. When I'll get to see him next. Pauline's mother. Pauline! Why am I thinking of Jolene? Anyway. There you are. Oh dear, what's got you so frazzled, Mom? Oh, Pauline. Huh? What is it? Did something happen? What's the matter, Mom? Mom? Pauline. Okay. Let me know in the comments, esteemed viewers. Am I better or worse than the actors from Resident Evil 1? Not the remake, the original version. This isn't like you, Mom. It's not like you at all. Tell me what happened. I told you to stay away from men who trade. Huh? Oh, Pauline, my dear daughter. Why must God be so cruel to such a sweet girl? You're hurting me. Oh, so she was the merchant's sweetheart, and the merchant is like, yeah, okay. And the merchant's dead, and the mom knows it. What's gotten into you? Listen carefully, Pauline. You must be calm and hear me out, understood? Your lover, the beloved man you wait for, is dead. Well, that's rough, buddy. The beast's humanity began slipping away from him after that encounter. Yeah, he had returned to I also know of the, what it feels like to, like, crawl out of this pit, you know, this mental pit you've dug yourself in. And obviously it's not the same because it's more drastic and whatnot, but it's like, but I also know what it feels like to, return to the thing I found in the cellar. Actually, Brother Man's looking more barbaric than ever. So I know what it feels like to, like, make all this mental progress, and then, you know, like, I feel like, once I take a step back, I'm like, it's not undone. That makes it easier to make those steps later again, but like, it feels like, you know, one little thing, and it's all comes crashing down, and I'm stuck in the same, like, self-loathing malaise. Anyway, I don't want to get into that too much again. Anyway, actually, Brother Man's still looks more barbaric than ever. Despite all the effort he had put into learning to act like a human, he now ripped velvet curtains off the walls, howling shrilly, slumping back and forth through the hallways and ravaging the garden. I watched him intently, though from a distance. Beastia was not merely a beast, but an out-of-control, bloodthirsty beast. Just a few days ago, we had been tending the garden together, but that was no longer possible. I was quite disappointed. That's your one. That was your emotional response, not, you know, terror, disturbed, like being disturbed, or being like, what have I done? Anyway, eventually, Beastia discovered my hiding place. I had not felt regret in a very long time, but I felt deep regret in that moment. More! Don't have enough. Not enough. I need more. I need more. I must satisfy these urges. Are you saying peace was not enough to sate you? Did I mishear you when you asked for peace? I was mistaken. Asking for peace won't solve anything. Blood, despair, eyes filled with terror. Those are the things I need. I've always known it. You said this mansion fulfills people's desires, then. Give me prey. No more hairs. Live humans! Why did they ever teach him to speak human language? I don't know! I don't know! That's on you, lady! Before long, the mansion granted his wish. Once a week, a villager or traveling merchant from somewhere would wander into the forest, ending up at the mansion on the cliff. Something felt suspicious about the man who greeted them at the door. On the surface, he looked like a proper nobleman, so they all eventually chose to trust Beastia. The mansion had an air of loneliness about it, but it was adequate to provide rest for their weary feet. There was food and a bed, and most comforting of all, there were other people. The lord of the house treated the lost souls like esteemed guests. Actually, I realized I almost said Lord of the Flies. By the way, real quick, I think I've mentioned this on the channel before, but you know, most of you, even you esteemed viewers who have watched a lot of my stuff, assuming anyone actually has watched a lot of my stuff, probably have not seen all of my videos, and I think this is interesting. Apparently Lord of the Flies, apparently, what was I going to say? Apparently, not Lord of the Flies. Apparently, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, Beelzebub means Lord of the Flies. Anyway, he poured them fine wine and had me cook for them. No one suspected in the slightest that he was a beast. He put on a reasonably convincing act, because yes, I had taught him how to behave like a master. The visitors all went to bed contented, but as I am sure you can imagine, they would never see the light of day again. The penetratingly bright sunlight particular to this area. A beast! It's a beast! You disgusting creature! You hideous monster! Kill him! Ironically, you know, again, going back to Frankenstein's monster, and again, to a much lesser extent myself, you know, there's a self-fulfilling prophecy at play. You know, you hear people don't like you, so you're like, okay, fine, I'll act in ways that people don't like me. Okay, this is what it's like for me. I'm not like killing people or anything, but it's like, you know, you know, it's like, you know, people don't like, it's like, people don't like, I read that people don't like me, so I'm like, okay, fine, I won't do anything to try and make people like me, and then people are actually put off at me, maybe a little, maybe not, I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, if that's how you humans want to do things, then I'll play your little game. I'll play it even better than you. I'll kill you. I'll slaughter you! I don't know, I like playing the beast. I think this might be the thing, this might be the image. It's certainly like this face, and it's like one of these close-up, you know, big, important CG moments. No, please don't! That's it. Cry for me, beg for your life, pray for my mercy, weep, and struggle, and suffer, and die! No one understands, no one can possibly understand my despair. What did I ever do? Just because I'm a beast? I mean, unfortunately now they have a legitimate reason to hate you. When did I become a beast? Why do beasts have to die? Beasts are savage, so they must die. I'm a beast, therefore I'm savage. In which case, I'll kill them. I'll show them what makes a beast so terrifying! Moonlight crept through the torn velvet curtains, shining down upon the blood-stoked beast. It was a sight that would incite terror in anyone. Look at this! No one can stand up to me. Humans have no chance against beasts! I'm like legitimately worried that people like in the house I'm staying in will like be concerned. More! I need more! Give me more prey! The mansion continued to sate the beast's demented craving, sending not one but multiple villagers into his claws, into these blood-stained walls off which echoed his monstrous howls. Stop, please! I'm begging you, spare me! Oh, God! Sorry, I'm not familiar with your god. Beasts have no need of gods. I have a wife and son back in the village. Please let me return to them. Why don't you bring them back to me? I'll send them to the same place you're going. Jesus Christ, dude. Really? I am with child. Please let me go. Are you now? In that case, I'll... Oh, God. I don't even... Anyway... You damned monster! That's right, I'm a monster! And by killing, no one can defy me! I have to show the world that beasts are the most frightening things on this earth. The beast began to change his style, making sick banquets out of his kills. Some days he would tie his guests up in the cellar, playing with them for hours till they finally died. Some days he would drain them of their blood and bathe in it. Jesus fucking Christ. Some days he would spread them out on the table and feast upon them. Every week, another atrocious party. He did everything imaginable. As a faithful servant of this house, I am confident that I can do most anything I am asked. But that's not what you should be doing. You should be secretly posting huge signs up within like every like village within like a 50-mile radius where it's like, don't go here, you're gonna die. Though you can surely imagine my surprise at having to use the cooking skills I learned while serving the flaxen-haired family to do that. But wait, you had to learn cooking for the first time while you were serving the flaxen-haired family? Wow. I can only wonder if it actually tasted any good. That's not relevant. Anyway, Beastie's particular sword was always with him for his twisted banquets of self-gratification. However much blood stained it, it never lost its sheen. It was as though the sword drank of the flesh of humans. Can you imagine just how wretched I felt? Yeah, probably pretty wretched. The mansion, once a beautiful sight to behold, reeked of death and acrimony. The stench of rotting flesh seeped up from the cellar. Even the years it spent forsaken and in ruins were preferable to that. Heck, I think mansions look best when they're forsaken and in ruins. Perhaps I only had myself to blame. It was I who had invited the beast into the mansion. More, not enough. This isn't enough to satisfy me. The bestia still sought to hold more of his perverse parties. Lost villagers were no longer enough to quell his urges. He was indeed a genuine beast. And at time, although it's interesting because he's not, like, he's started off acting as, just hunt, kill, eat, consume, survive, like that type of, like a legitimate animal, except now he's acting more like Hannibal Lecter. Although, frankly, even Hannibal Lecter might be like, Anyway, what are you doing, beast? And in time, this is what I began to wish for. Can't you get me any better prey? Something truly exquisite. The perfect prey to quench this maddening thirst of mine. Do you know what he meant when he asked for the perfect prey? Perhaps a hero, someone courageous enough to stand up to him, with whom he could enjoy a battle to the death. Perhaps a dazzling... Okay, I'm just gonna skip over this one. Perhaps what he wanted was not human at all, but a demon or a phantom. I would soon find out as the mansion attempted to grant his wish, bringing yet another guest to the house on the cliff. Alright, how long have I been going for? 20 minutes. I'll go for one more scene, and then I'll call it for the day. If the devil guides us, if God guides us, then perhaps I could accept that this was fate. It makes sense that I am here. Is anyone here? I've lost my way. Would you please be so kind as to spare me a little food? Ah, there it is. There comes the poor little offering. They never learn. They just keep coming again and again. The mansion keeps granting my wish. I would be glad to provide you some food. You are welcome to stay the night, get some rest. I will have a room prepared. The white-haired girl again. Oh, and her hair's grown back, although not all the way. Then I forgot that she was in this part too. Then I suppose I should take you up on your generosity. I've been wandering for a very, very long time. What was that? You recognize her? I imagine you would. That white hair, those red eyes, skin the color of freshly fallen snow, and that flawlessly beautiful visage. You could not possibly mistake her for anyone else. And no, it is not someone who happens to resemble her. I can understand why you would be surprised. I mean, I'm not very surprised, considering that you have, like, been in this house for God knows how many years. So I can hardly believe my own eyes. The wanderer knocking on the door that day was the very same fair-skinned young woman who visited the mansion so many years earlier. The white-haired girl must have spent many, many a night in the forest. Her crystalline skin was covered in red scratches from where she had brushed against stray branches and tree bark. She had even lost her shoes and was standing there barefooted, looking quite disheartened. But that did not make her any less beautiful. In fact, you could just imagine the dense forest canopy parting to allow the sun to shine down upon her. The beast appeared surprised by her angelic beauty as well. It seemed as though all the madness drained from him in that moment. Oh boy, yeah, here we go! Tales old as time, whatever. I actually, real quick tangent about Beauty and the Beast. I thought the movie was good, you know, and I didn't find it nearly as morally objectionable as I once thought I would find it. That being said, the music just kind of just flew right by me. It wasn't bad, but I mean, Kill the Beast was kind of fun. But other than that, most of the music was just meh, which is especially weird because like they the people who did that, also who did Beauty and the Beast, if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, esteemed viewers, also did what's it called? Hunchback of Notre Dame, Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is like a lot of those, a few of the songs I just adore. Most of the songs I like. One of the songs I hate, but none. I'm not apathetic about any of them. Anyway, he was entranced by the sight of her ruby red irises and her pure white hair. Pardon? I am a beast. This is what I asked for. Something to quench my thirst. You're allowed to be happy, but as I said, it was only for a moment. So rejoice. Imagine just how gratifying it will be to see such a beautiful woman writhing in the throes of death. There is something, hold on, writhing in the throes of death. There's something, am I just really fucked up or something? Because I think there's something like writhing in the throes that sounds vaguely sexual to me. Oh boy, yeah, this video is definitely not getting monetized. Anyway, none of my videos are going to get monetized, so I'm never going to reach 1,000 subscribers. I actually, real quick, esteemed viewers, I recorded my 100 subscriber special, my Portal special earlier today. It was it's like 4 hours long. It's, wow. Anyway, I'll release it, you know, when I hit 100 subscribers or if enough people ask me to just, like, release it anyway. Follow me. I will have a bath drawn as well. And once the moment had passed, the beast was barely able to contain the wellspring of madness within himself. He wanted nothing more than to run his sword through the white-haired girl hold on. To torture her, to defile her. It's like something. It's like Judges. What type of Judges 19 shit is this? He tended to her wounds, served her supper, and drew a bath for her. And afterwards, the beast even made to provide her with a dress to wear. Even the outfit she'd only worn one night so many years before was there, waiting for someone to put it on again, for her to put it on. Oh, how did it, I mean, okay. I guess, like, because I love it because I was about to ask, like, how did it stay put for so many years? And then I realized, you know, like in just in terms of biological terms, a dress is much less complicated and than humans. And this game has already had 2 humans who have lived way longer than humans typically live. So, yeah. He said she could choose anything she liked. She, being such a modest young woman, said she needed not of such fine attire. And what a shame that was. I too wished to see her in a dress once. Was it once or once more? Once more. I need not such fine clothing. You needed to be modest. No, that's not why. Was that not to your liking, then? No, my apologies. You are very generous. Foolish girl, smiling and calling me generous. I was simply imagining what a pretty sight it would be. The sight of her fresh blood spattered on it. The sight of her life slipping away in it. I'm glad that after wandering for so long, I ended up here in this mansion. In a few hours you'll be feeling the exact opposite. Get all the rest you need. I shall see you again in the morning. I thank you. Bestia made his way out of the girl's bedchamber. His mask came crumbling off after only taking a few steps. Ha! Ha ha ha! There! That's precisely what I wanted! Aha! I'm just imagining such a... I don't even want to say that. But look, I'm sorry. Some of these lines are just like... I mean, some of them are like awful, but like I can say them as awful and acknowledge them as awful, and some of them are just like, I don't even want to say this out loud. Hey, are you there? The mansion has given me the perfect offering. Hey, is she not here? Oh, he's talking to the maid. Someone there? Yes, I came by to ask if there was anything you needed. I can't offer you anything extravagant, not like before, but I'm here to provide you with anything in my capacity. Appreciate the offer, but I need nothing. You guys are acting pretty casual, despite the fact that you're meeting each other after like a century. I appreciate the offer, but I need nothing. Being allowed to stay the night is more than enough. Do you work here in the mansion? Yes, indeed I do. I've been here for a very, very long time. Very long time? I think this is... Okay, so they... I guess she didn't think she... Have we met before? Something about you seems familiar. That's an interesting idea. You know, it's funny because so many... Okay, this might be not what the game is implying at all, but so many immortality stories... Like, kind of take it for granted that people with immortality would like, remember everything, you know? Or like in Planescape Torment's case, there's like a cycle and they've got, you know, consistent amnesia. What I'm curious about is, are there any, like, wouldn't it be interesting to have an immortality story where people's memories faded, like, at the same rate as a normal person's would, it's just they have more memories that fade over time. I don't know. And I get the feeling I've been in this mansion before. Yes, we have met. It was quite some time ago, though. When was it? It was an unimaginably long time ago. Do you remember a boy and a girl with flaxen hair? Flaxen hair. I apologize. My memory fails me. Maybe that is what's happening here. I don't know. Do you not remember me earlier? I see. You should probably not push yourself to remember then. There were joyous times, and there were less than joyous times. But would you be so kind as to answer one question? What might your name be? My name? My name is... Then, yeah, it's bleeped out again. I see, so you are... Again? Again? You should get some rest. I will make tea for you in the morning. Also... Go on, close your eyes. Bestia never waited for morning to come. With his sword that smelled of blood hanging from his hip, the beast slowly, ever so slowly, crept towards the room where the white-haired girl slept. The time was soon approaching for the bloodthirsty beast to paint the walls with the young woman's blood, to turn her bedchamber into a gore-splattered altar upon which he would offer her to the devil. Huh? However, when he opened the door, the beast could hardly believe his eyes. She was not asleep, but sitting there as if expecting Bestia's arrival. Why are you awake? Did you not go to sleep? I heard footsteps, so I... What were you planning to do when I got here? Surely you didn't think we'd simply have a nice midnight chat. So hoping to ask what it was that you wanted. To ask what it was I wanted? Do you even realize what you're saying? Can you not see what's in my hand? You know exactly what I came here to do. Aren't you going to beg? Aren't you going to plead for your life? Aren't you going to ask me not to kill you? If it's necessary. Is that what you want? What I want is something much more gratifying than your pleas. I want to hold a banquet. It's not enough. No matter what I do, it's not enough. But you will be enough to satisfy me, to quench this unholy thirst, to completely, fully, fill me, to completely, wholly fill me to the bursting point. You want to know what I desire? I desire to devour you! This is also like I think a promotional thing that was there. He shoved the girl back, slamming her into the mattress, and stabbed his sword through the sheets beside her, looking down upon the girl, the moonlight at his back. Clenching his... is that supposed to be like an allusion to werewolves or something? Clenching her slender throat with one hand, he drew his sword once more, holding the tip inches from her nose. No matter how much blood it drank, the sword continued to shine gloriously, as though it had just come from the forge. It was an awe-inspiring, tear-shedding blade, the sight of which would cause anyone to imagine the misfortune about to befall them. Go on, mock me! Ridicule the hideous, barbaric beast standing before you! The moment you saw me, you thought me unsettling, no? But you averted your eyes! Hold on. Because he had food for you. I was like, wait, it wasn't. I thought he was asking. For a second I was confused as to whether or not he was asking a question or if he was saying, from the moment you saw me, you thought me unsettling, ? And she said no. Because I gave you a place to rest. You pretended not to notice the beast. This is retribution. Retribution for you damn humans. So beg for your life like they all do. Cry! Plead for mercy! If you say that you were ugly, then I must be equally ugly. What? What came from the girl's mouth was neither a plea nor an insult nor a scream. Full-grown men had wept before him, and yet the slight young woman did not. I mean, most people would cry at this scenario. It doesn't matter how old they are or whether they're men or women or, you know, non-binary, etc. Despite this terrifying beast being upon her, moments away from extinguishing her life, even I almost shrieked in fright. Bestia could believe neither his eyes nor his ears. Do you not fear me? Can you not see what I'm about to do to you? What am I to be afraid of? I'm threatening to murder you! To whip your intestines out with his claws and watch you die in agony. I enjoy it more than anything in the world, filling others' hearts with fear. The more lives I take, the more I enjoy it. I'm a beast, driven by madness. What he expected was for the beautiful young girl before him to desperately implore him for mercy. He wanted nothing more than to see despair seep into every corner of her red eyes, for he believed that it would be a truly sublime moment, euphoria unlike anything he had experienced before. Bestia prodded her with his singular sword, poking a slit in skin smoother than silk. You mean to take mercy on me because you see me as pitiful? She did not do as the beast wished. She looked up at him with sympathy rather than fear. This rat of the beast. He had never once seen anyone respond to him that way. What possessed you to say that? What on earth is going through your head? Mercy? Mercy? Oh, she's... Okay, I just realized. She's in the position, you know, like she is Mel when she was the beast to Mel. I feel like most people will get what I'm saying, even though it's confusing as all hell. You know, she's seeing the same situation, you know, that she was once in the beast's position and thought the same way. Anyway, mercy, mercy! Do you not comprehend the situation? How can you be so calm? Scream, cry, and shout! Beg for me to spare you! Throw yourself at my feet! Throw yourself at my feet! Otherwise, I'm a beast! A beast that never tires of killing! To me, you appear to be a person. You're lying. Listen to the things I say and you respond with your own words. I was taught how to speak. I'm a beast who speaks human language! What do you think? Use your mind to come up with responses. You hesitate. If I'm human, then why do they disparage me so? Why do they reject me and try to kill me? Because I'm a beast! A repulsive beast! That's why, isn't it? I will do nothing to hurt you. We're alike. Alike? Don't be ridiculous. How can you say we're alike when you're as beautiful as you are? There's nothing beautiful about me. What value does outward appearance have? You have suffered much persecution, which is why you tremble in fear. I'm not trembling. I'm not afraid. I can hear the cries of your heart. What on earth is wrong with you? Why are you not afraid? Why do you not scream in terror? I am afraid, but more than fear. I feel like I don't know what my role is. Your role? If you will have me, then I would like to remain here in the mansion. This is another interesting, this is interesting because most Beauty and the Beast stories, it's interesting here because the Beast is much more, has done much more heinous things, both in terms of, evilness of the act itself and, in the number of evil acts, and yet, it's interesting because even Disney's Beauty and the Beast, which is relatively tame, even though Beauty and the Beast is not really about Stockholm Syndrome, and the fact that Stockholm Syndrome could very well might not be a thing, it's still, there's still an element of coercion there that makes things a bit uncomfortable, and it's not, okay, this isn't about the Beauty and the Beast, This isn't about Beauty and the Beast. This isn't about Disney's Beauty and the Beast because I feel like it's a really complicated thing to say, and I don't really want to say it right now because I'm derailing this as it is. But this is interesting because this is the first Beauty and the Beast story I've seen. I mean, I guess unless you count like The Shape of Water or something, but this is the first Beauty and the Beast story I've seen. You know, or a more traditional one at least that is where she's just like, yeah, I'll stay. You know, I mean, like there's still an obviously power dynamics at play because he's trying to kill her, but he's not like stay here or I will kill you. He's just I'm gonna kill you, and she's like, man, I feel bad for you. I think I'll stay here instead. And he's like, what? Anyway, yeah. So, are you mad? I will eventually kill you, torture you, put you through hell, make you wish you were never born. It does not change my mind. Please allow me to stay. I find it very hard to believe that you want deep down is to hurt people. I get the feeling that I'm meant to be here. That's my role. Beastie was at a loss. He was perhaps afraid of this girl who did not fear him, and even intended to embrace him. She behaved too differently from all the other humans he knew of, who only ever harassed and pushed him away. Why are you so kind to me? To this beast, this murderer. Beastie's sword slipped from his hand, hitting the hard floor with a metallic whine. When the sound died down, the white-haired girl extended her hands before the beast with the utmost of affability. Her fingers were white as freshly fallen snow, something this area never saw. They traced his distinctive frame. They ran along his unusually shaped nose. They slid across his rough, yellowed skin. They drifted around his rather small eyes. The beast trembled once more, this time not out of twisted desire from deep within, but from the unimaginable comfort of physical contact. Her fingers moved so gently, so pleasantly, wrapping him in their warmth. Are you crying? A single teardrop slid down the arc of her finger. Looking into her clear eyes, Beastie came to a realization. And at the same time, he felt somewhat dismayed. You are without sight. Oh, interesting. Was she always blind? Like, did that just never come up in the original? Or was I should do a video about Toph and from Avatar and disabled characters and whatnot. Long and short of it is, I think Toph is a good example of that, of disabled characters. Anyway, taken in the throes of his primal urges, the beast had not noticed, but there was an emptiness in the girl's eyes. She appeared to be gazing far into the distance, not focused on the man, despite being close enough to touch him. She could be autistic, you know. I sometimes wonder if that's how I look when I'm avoiding eye contact with people, you know, just like looking off somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, tears had begun running down Beastie's cheeks earlier when she had called him a person. It was not until one of those droplets had slid across the back of her finger that she had realized she would indeed have no need of extravagant dresses. After all, she could not see what she was wearing. That's correct. I am blind. But whoever decided that reality is only that which can be seen. I mean, yeah, that's what we got other senses for. I know not what appearance I have. In the darkness, everything is as one. There's no difference between beast and man. If you are a beast, then I too must be a beast. To call the girl a beast. I like this quote. To call the girl a beast would be paramount to eating sugar and insisting it was salt. Do pardon the trite analogy, please. But you would know rather well that the white-haired girl was not at all what you would call a beast. No, not simply in appearance, but all the way down to her core. There was nothing beastly about her. Now I'm just thinking, sorry, just remember the Jenny Nicholson video of about the movie Beastly, and then they also remember that has a very bad example of a blind character. Oh boy. Anyway, her words brought him faint pain, but the beast still felt on some level that he wanted to keep her at his side to see what would happen. His next words were in large part impulsive. I am grateful that you cannot see. Alright. I think that is enough for today. That's a pretty good place to stop, I think. So, I mean, I think this will be a good, exposition thing to start off with. Anyway, wait, hold on. Before we do that, though, I need to save. Serenity. There's no place I can be since I found serenity. Alright, well, I'm surprised at how calm I am considering my dumb performance. I was actually, drawing, in certain parts I was drawing from my own emotions and feelings. It's just, I don't know, it's weird to have the same emotional arc of as someone who's been done way more atrocious things than you ever have. But yeah, I'm surprised how calm I am. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying this. Even the earlier parts, I'm enjoying more now than I was later, and apparently it gets much better towards the end. So, anyway, that will be all for today, esteemed viewers. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you have something to say, let me know in the comments. Twitter, Letterboxd, and Nexus.gg, links in the description down below. Subscribe and ring the bell, all that jazz, and other YouTube stuff. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching, esteemed viewers, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.